welcome back to another episode of Be Sure to Cook. Today we're making an old classic come to life. We're doing a macaroni salad my way. So stay tuned and let's do this. Okay, first what we did is we took 3 cups of water and we're going to boil it, and I'm adding a teaspoon of olive oil. Some people use salt, and you can, but I found out that olive oil actually makes your pasta don't stick too. So olive oil is very good, or any type of oil. If you wanted to use vegetable oil, olive oil, Corona oil, any kind of little good healthy oil, it also makes your pasta don't stick too. So we're putting about a teaspoon of olive oil into our 3 cups of water. Wait until it boils, and we're going to add some pasta, and that's macaroni pasta. So stay tuned. Let's finish it. Okay, while we waiting on our water to start boiling, I'm going to add about 2 cups of elbow macaroni. Any kind of elbow macaroni you like. So I'm just going to measure out to about 2 cups of macaroni. I mean, if you're making a big one, you can. If you're not making a big one, which I want a big bowl of this, use 1.5 cups, or, use a cup, if you just want to make it. And you can measure out how much macaroni you want. So any good macaroni, you want to get a really good, rich macaroni. When I don't, something that's really good, it's going to taste good. Some macaronis, it doesn't taste as good as other ones. So look for a really great macaroni. And, get whatever you want, or whatever's affordable for you. But just do about 2 cups. So let's go start prepping our vegetables. Okay, I got me some carrots here. And I've got some really good carrots. I didn't want a whole bag. You know how you get all these whole bags? I just wanted some loose carrots. And these are the carrots that have the real good carrots here. I think they're good, but any carrot is fine. These are organic like carrots. So, and this is another piece that fell off. So I'm just going to I'm going to do about, I said about one carrot for right now. And I don't think I need no more than just one. And I'm going to prep this carrot. How I'm going to do it is I'm cutting off both ends. And I'm going to clean off that nasty, you remember that nasty part I tell you? Let me tell you about a nasty part. Here you got it. Here's where I went on ahead and swiped it with my potato peeler. I love the potato peeler. Did not like it until my daughter showed it to me. I was a knife girl. I could still do a knife. I love a knife. It's an old-fashioned way. This is just so much easier, and it kills time. Now, this is the outside of the carrot. Do you see all this? You can get closer in on this, cameraman. You see all this nasty stuff? Some people just chop this up, start using it. That's a no-no. That's nasty. And if anybody tells you don't wash your vegetables, that's a no-no too. That's nasty. And you might want to consider about eating any of their food. Because what you're getting is dirt. You might as well just go out, dig some dirt up out of the ground, throw it in your food. No telling what type of bugs, if you like that. It holds all kind of dirty diseases. You don't know what's in there. You've got birds flying around. You got dogs coming to the yard or going in. You got rabbits. Everybody's, doing a do in your garden, and you're not going to wash your vegetables. Somebody did say that to me one time. Oh, I don't never wash my vegetables. Oh, great. Don't invite me to dinner. I'm not coming. So anyway, I'm just going to peel this off until it looks like a pretty color. And then here's the nasty old color. You want to get rid of that. You want to make sure you don't see any nastiness. We're going to wash these vegetables thoroughly. When I mean wash, I don't mean go back there, take soap, and wash them like you're washing clothes. It's just running good water over them and scrubbing them with the back of your hand. When you see me do this, that means I'm telling you, when the water's running, take the palm of your hand and you want to scrub the water over it, getting any dirt or anything off your hand. That's what I mean when I'm doing that little hand gesture that people say, why is she probably doing that? And it's my fault because I didn't tell you. What I want you to do is I want you to take the palm of this hand and put your hand over water. And when you put in those vegetables, you want to scrub it like you're scrubbing. You want to scrub all that dirt off there. And it's good to do that. So you won't get, and most people, they come up and they say, oh, well, most people have, oh, we got salmonella. Oh, we got this or we got that. It's because people are not freshly washing their vegetables. Like I said, all you need is water. Water's not killing anyone. It's not like you putting soap. You don't want to wash it like you're washing dishes. That's a no-no. That's just contaminating your food, and you are going to get sick and you might die. Good old-fashioned water and soaking and scrubbing won't hurt anybody. Birds do it. You can do it too. So after we do this, what we're going to do is we're going to wash this really, really good. And I'm going to wash this also because it was dirty from the dirt. I'm going to wash both of these, and I'm going to peel it just like I did when I did this old peeling off there. And I want it real thin, and I'm going to cut this up. I'm going to rinse it off again, and we're going to use this for our macaroni salad. So let's get to washing. Okay, I'm just going to stir my boiling water around and make sure that I got all of that oil mixed up in there. And that's olive oil, just a teaspoon or a tablespoon. Just depends on how much you want. Any one tea or table, it doesn't make a difference. You're going to stir this a couple of times. Make sure you're going to let it cook, but you're going to come back and stir it right away because you don't want it to stick. You prevent it from sticking, and she'll ease up right away. Anything, if you put salt in it and you just leave it there and you don't stir it at all while it's still boiling and cooking, it is going to clump up. So you need to give it a couple stirs so it can get used to being into that salt water or that vegetable oil or olive oil. You just need to go ahead and stir that up a couple times and let it rip. It should be good to go. And you want to give this about 5 or 10 minutes. Probably about 5 minutes. I don't know about 10 minutes. Check your macaroni. Make sure it's nice and you got a nice little bite size, but it's not hard and crunchy. It's loose. It's tender, but still got some flexibility. So that's what you're looking for. So let's give it about 5 minutes. Okay, I've got one stalk of celery, and then on that I'm turning off some of the celery leaf. I just need a little bit of that celery leaf. Sometimes I think it's a lot better than the celery itself, the stalk, which is good because it leaves more flavor. So we're going to use one celery stalk, and then we're just going to do a couple of celery leaves that we're going to rinse off. We're going to dice these up, and we're going to get these prepped. Okay, that's been boiling. Give it another quick stir. It hasn't been that long. Okay, we're still doing our 5 minutes. And if it looks like this and you only been a couple of minutes, you can also tell the way it looks. It's got that funny like look to it. I just know when it looks like that's still raw. So most people pour that out. I'm not. You don't want it to be undercooked. You don't want it to be overcooked, but you want that little bite and that little texture. Okay, let's do the 5. Okay, we're going to take the back of this off because we don't need that. And then we need those leaves, but we don't need the tops of this. The top part, partial of it, but we can do the leaves. We just don't need that top part. And I took that off, and I cut that all off. And I'm going to discard this. And we did discard the back. And then here we go. We've got our handy dandy potato peeler. And I'm just peeling off that celery. I do. You don't have to. Most people don't. Most people just, rinse this off and get to chop it. I don't know. It's about the strings that are in there. I don't care to get all those strings sometimes. And I think I'm just cleaning it up when I'm doing that. But I mean, this is my thing. You do not have to do that. And you can do your celery the way you want your celery. So all that's going to be discarded. See, I'm just taking off that first layer. I mean, I'm still thinking about, being in the ground and all, but, you can do it your way. As long as it's clean good, hey, go for it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to clean up this part because we can still use this part. We're just chopping this up. Now, if you was like doing a stew and you just needed flavor for this, you don't have to clean this up at all. All you have to do is just wash it up if you want it and put this in, with the stock. If you want that flavor for that, just put this in a in your stew or whatever, and you could just discard these later, put it in a, I'm trying to think of what I'm talking about, but I can't think, but that's okay. But you can use this any way you want it. So I'm just cleaning up my celery my way. You could do it the way you feel comfortable with it. Or if you want to do it my way, try it out. It's good, it's simple, and it's easy. And it's clean. Okay, this is that clean carrot, and now you see it, look at it. You don't see any dirt, any nastiness, nothing. Because I made sure every crack is so beautiful. I washed this and cleaned this really good. I'm gonna use the same peeler, and what it does is it makes it so thin, like strips of thin. It's not heavy, it's thin. And I'm just gonna keep on just doing this until I get a lot of these strips. And I want them thin, and I do them like this because I want them thin strips. Or you can grate it. You can just grate it up. You know, you can do that if you want. But here's what I'm doing. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to chop these up where I get real thin slices of carrots. They're so thin, you're not going to be crunching on anything heavy or thick because they're going to be thin. I like it when I do this. Then I'm going to chop these bad boys up like what? In small pieces, and this is going to go into my dish. It's going to be really nice because you don't get, you know how you get carrots and stuff, or when you're eating macaroni salad, you get big chunks. Well, I don't like chunks. I like them in some things, but I don't like them in all my food. So I think it should be a easy transitional when you're eating, you know. And I'm just going to try to do this until I use it all up, until I can't get any more thin. Then I take it and I will chop this up all together. So there's what I'm looking for. Then I'm going to take it, and I'm going to take my knife, and I'm just going to run through it. See? Now this is going to do something to my board. It's going to make a dye. It's going to dye my board. So it's going to be kind of hard for me to get this board together for a while. I'm going to have to really soak this board later on. And I want it diced and chopped, because I don't want nothing thick, and I don't want nothing too long. I want it to be chopped, diced. I just want to see that pretty color. Since this has already been washed, my board's been washed off and rinsed really good. See, I just want a hint of the carrots. See, and here's what they look like. See, little, but they real thin. I mean, they're like almost paper thin, you know, and that's for the color. Look at that. There we go. And I'm going to gather all these up, put these in a small bowl, and this is going to be the decoration to my pasta salad, my wonderful salad. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for. So automatically I'm taking one. Great. I don't want to overcook it. You don't want it mushy. You want it nice and firm. This is automatically, we're going to a big bowl of cold water to stop the cooking process. Okay, I have rinsed in cold water, and there's my bowl, and I'm draining this here, and this is the water that's still left in here. I'm gonna dispose this into the sink, bringing it back over, and I've gotten majority of the water. I am going to stick this in a freezer, so just put like a paper towel or, you know, some Reynolds wrap or plastic wrap over it. Stick it in the freezer for a couple minutes while we finish our vegetables. Okay, so I'm taking this and I want to chop these into pieces because I am cheating today, and I am not going to chop this with my bare hands. I'm going to have something to help me. So I'm putting this in here, and guess what? I'm also going to be putting all those leaves that I had in there. Remember those good celery leaves. I like celery leaves. It gives more punch, more flavor. I happen to like it. And I'm sticking all that in there. And I'm going to put my top on here and I'm going to hold it. Do a couple twist, 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 twist. I like this thing. Yeah, I think that looks good. Little chop. Little celery. Do a couple more chops. My son doesn't like chunky. So I try to make it where everybody still get the flavor. You don't get a lot of crunch, which I like a little crunch. I don't think he minds a little crunch, but I just want to make sure it's finely chopped. Yeah, that looks like that might be really good. Okay, so that is my celery chopped. I got my celery. I got my wonderful. Now, the next thing we need to do is one more thing. Well, a couple more things. Okay, now I got me a jar of roasted red bell peppers, which those are going to be really good. I'm going to take a little bit of these roasted peppers out. Yes, look at that. Get me a couple of these. I just need about a couple. You just want to make it look good, and they taste so good. I'm going to take them, and I am going to just run my knife over here. You know, I don't want them too big, and I don't want them too small, but I want them, you know, size, so. You want that beautiful color in there, too. So, like I said, I want to get enough color and flavor. And that oil that's in there, it's a good old olive oil. It's pretty good. Put a little bit in there. We're going to do that. All right. I got some green onions. These are kind of pretty nasty and dirty. So we got to clean these up. We got to clean them and wash them up and wash all the dirt off of them. And clean them up, make them look good, and we can use them. So I'm just peeling off all this nasty stuff that I see, I call nasty, off my green onions, and I'm gonna just cut this off anyway. But I just didn't want, and I hate this, you know, when you see little. So I like to clean it, make it look really good. I'm gonna be cleaning up all this. It comes straight out of the dirt, straight out of the ground. Okay, I'm taking the ends off these. I put them together, taking the ends off. I'm going to turn these around. And then I'm going to cut this to a special place, you know, where it's all even. And I'm going to discard all of that, taking these little stems off that I don't like. And we're going to wash these up, and we're going to chop these up. We're going to take all the dirt off here, clean these up, and get these ready to be prepped to put in our salad. Okay, after I had cleaned the green onions, you can still see a little water specks. I thought I'd dry that really good with these paper towels. I guess I didn't. I just rolled them. I didn't actually go through here and dry these. And you want to be gentle. Looked like I was scrubbing hard, but really, I really wasn't scrubbing hard to bruise. You know, maybe that I did that bruise. But they're getting cut up, so who cares? But you know, if you know, you just want, I want that crunch. I don't want to make it soggy. So I'm going to take these, and they've been clean. And look at them, they're shiny. Actually, the cameraman is hitting off of them, and they look so shiny and great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these, and I'm going to take my paper towel and put that to the side. I'm going to crunch down on these, and I'm going to slice them pretty good. You don't want them too thick. You don't want them too thin. Now cut them pretty normal. You're not making Chinese food. You know, in Chinese food, you know, they're, you know, they cut those actually big now, but actually you want them small. You want a hint of the green onions, and you don't want to bruise them, so you want to cut them, and you make sure your knife's a little sharp so it can go through and make pretty round rings. I'm just going to cut these. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have finished up all of our veggies. So let's recap. We have green onion. We have roasted red bell peppers. We have diced celery. And there's that half of that green onion on top of that, just holding it still. And then we have those real thin cut up carrots. So we have all of our ingredients right here. Now, if you want to, some people might want to put an egg or a boiled egg in them. I recommend not, but if you want to, that's up to you. Now, we got this wonderful, wonderful bowl. What we gonna do with this bowl? Right, we're gonna put our wet ingredients inside this bowl. Here we go, my little spinderella. I don't call it a spinderella, I call it a spicerella. Okay, I just got this little thing. I think it's so cute. It just spins, and I spin my little spices on it. So let's go over the spices that we're gonna be using. Okay, we have white pepper, which I need to fill up. We have some dill going on here, dried dill. Of course, my favorite, Mrs. Dash. And we're going to also need some paprika. Paprika. And then we have a little garlic powder. Oh, you can't go wrong with parsley. Parsley. And then we have our ground mustard. So these are the little seasons we're going to be using to make our little dish. First of all, we're going to need about 2 cups of mayonnaise, or a cup and a half. It depends on how much. Since I'm using 2 cups of cooked pasta, I'm going to use about 2 cups of mayonnaise, because guess what? Only reason why I'm using so much mayonnaise in this, because pasta soaks up and it has to be wet. So have you ever seen somebody make a dry pasta? I mean, so they're making like a, what I'm making, like what I'm making macaroni salad, and you make it, it looks good, oh, it tastes good, it looks good, and then all of a sudden you go out and you go, hey, wait a minute. You put it in the refrigerator, you come back and you're like, where's the juice? Well, the juice has been sucked up with the mayonnaise, because pasta sucks up whatever it absorbs. It absorbs stuff. So if you make chicken or noodles or something and using like a pasta, which would be a noodle or anything, and if it's not juicy enough, when you come back the next morning or the next day after you let it sit in the refrigerator, you'll notice that you don't have any liquid in your stuff and it's all dry, because pastas and noodles and stuff like that tend to suck up the juice that you put in there. So you need extra mayonnaise. So I'm using 2 cups of mayonnaise here. Okay, I'm doing 1/4 teaspoon of Mrs. Dash. This is going to be all 1/4 teaspoon of all the seasons. After you mix it up, you feel like it doesn't have enough seasons in it, just go ahead and put you a little bit more. Sprinkle to yours. You don't have to go with mine. Whatever makes you feel good, because maybe you don't like. Some people say, ooh, and that's just too flavorful. Some people got stronger taste buds than others. And this is, of course, paprika. Okay, and that was garlic powder. And then, so I have paprika, Mrs. Dash, garlic powder so far. And I need to really get into my seasons. I love seasonings, guys. I mean, I really do. And I'm on that white pepper. You might want to go a little bit lower than that. I put a little white pepper in there to give it a little kick. Like I said, you want to measure this how you want. I'm just sprinkling a little bit of dill. Dill's kind of strong, so I'm just shaking a little bit. Just a little bit, just so I see just a tiny bit of green. Not a lot. Not even 1/4 teaspoon. But the mustard, yes, we're going to go and do that 1/4 on that. We need to do that. Okay. That's good. I don't want too much. That's that dry mustard. Yeah, buddy. Ooh, I'm sorry. And then the same as the parsley. You just want to sprinkle that. You don't want a lot of that. There we go. That's good enough for me. And then we got our O. And we're just gonna mix this up. And it's gonna turn a nice, Okay, I'm mixing it. Oh, but look how pretty that is. It turned that boring old mayonnaise into something old and new, something born and old and something brand new. Look at that, guys. Oh, but you want to stir this really good. You make sure you want to stir this up really good. Make sure all those seasons get in there really good and you don't got clumps of seasonings, because nobody wants to get, you know, a clunk of anything, you know. So you want to stir that up good, and you can see now. Look at that. That looks like something. Look at that. That is a good seasoning, and I want to make sure. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take just a little bit of this celery. We're not going to use all of this celery because, like I said, I'm making a little bit. And I'm going to stir that. But look at that celery. When it's chopped up, it's there, but it's not all chunky, because I kind of did it good. But it's getting that flavor in there. Then we're going to add the bell peppers, the red bell peppers. And look, it's changing it again. Look at that. I'll make sure I get all of that. I'm greedy. There wasn't that much of that. I don't want it to be, it's changing that. Look at that. Oh, and you get a little hint of that. Let's dump those carrots in there. Yeah, let's get all those. Those carrots are really thin, so it's not going to hurt it at all. Look at that. Look at the color, guys, and look at all the wonderful stuff you're getting in there. And those green onions, I'm just going to get a hint of those green onions. I don't need a lot of those, just a little. You know, just whatever you like. Now, the only thing that I think this needs here is, guess what? There's no sweetener. So use about a tablespoon or a tablespoon and a half of sugar, or use enough sugar where you think it's sweet. Mix it up, taste it. Always make sure when you do it, taste your food, taste your, you know, stuff that you make to make sure it tastes good to you. Because if it doesn't taste good to you, it's not going to taste good to anybody else. So do a tablespoon or a teaspoon and a half, or do as much as you want. Remember, you can't take out, but you can always put in. So try a small amount, stir it up really good, because if you're using regular grated sugar, it takes a while for it to dissolve. You don't want crunchy stuff in sugar crumbs in your food. Since I don't use that type of sugar, I use like a low-fat sugar for myself. I'm using 2 of these little packs of Equal. Or you can use Splenda or something like that, yeah. And you know, when you're talking about Equal and Splenda, what are you? Yes, you're diabetic. So that's why I'm using it. But it's so much sweeter to me. And you want to get something that don't have that, you know, that after bitter taste. You know how you get some of those diet products or drinks and stuff, and you go, oh my God, this is nasty. You don't want to get the sugar that makes nasty. You want to get the one, or you can use that Travel, or I think they call it, I can't pronounce it really good. You can get that where that doesn't have, you know, it tastes like regular sugar, but it's really made from regular sugar, but it's not really regular sugar for people with that are diabetics, or people who just don't want to be a diabetic and they used to those type of sugars. Now all my kids are actually really used to that type of sugar, because I've been like that ever since they've been young kids. So they had to adapt the way I ate. And it's good for you. You don't want the saccharin and all that stuff, but get the ones that are not. It is really good. And once they get adapted, everybody gets adapted. Your whole family, even when you're going, you know, I use this stuff when I'm going over my family's get-togethers and stuff, and nobody even knows that it's in there, because I use sugar that doesn't taste like that, you know, oh, that funny sugar. I use the real good stuff. Tastes like really sugar, but it won't hurt you because it's for people with diabetics. So are people that just don't want to be a diabetic and they just so used to do that. So there it is. So like I said, this is going to go with my cold macaroni. But it's one more thing I'm going to put in here. So let's get it. Okay, guys, I got some cheddar cheese. Most people don't have to do that, but I got I'm using a 1/3 cup of cheddar cheese. Just a little bit of that in there. And as you see, that is the 1/3 cup. You know, I like a little pickup every now and then. And my pickup is, you can do a sharp, you can do a mild, or you can do one of those cheddar cheeses that has like 3 or 4 different cheddar cheeses all put together, but as long as it's thinly sliced. Not a lot, just a little. Now we need a cold pasta. Okay guys, look, this is the cold pasta. It's cold and it's really cold and it's cooled down, and I'm gonna dump this inside of my bowl, and I put this in the freezer. So it took me a couple minutes to chop this up. I'm taking about a teaspoon of that olive oil mixture, just a teaspoon, so I can toss that in there to loosen up these and make them shiny and make it good so everything can get in. And you know, olive oil is not fattening. It's nothing wrong with it. It's the good oils. It's the good oil. So I did like a teaspoon, a real teaspoon. And I'm just going to toss it into my pasta shells. Look at that. And then that mix. Okay, I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to put all my stuff, move all this stuff out of the way. And look at my mix here. See that cheese? See all that together? All that good stuff in there. And I'm just going to toss this. This is going to have to sit for at least 30 to an hour, or maybe even overnight. So, if I didn't do enough mixture, guys, let me tell you, you can just make another small batch of this, eyeballing all your ingredients, or just add some more mayonnaise. Because you don't have to do any of that, because all them seasonings and stuff that I put in there. I'm sorry if my cameraman's like, he's up high and he looks like he's stepping up onto something to try to get that look. I had that in his way, and I'm so sorry about that. But I'm scraping everything out because I'm greedy. And then I'm going to kind of like toss this. I'm just tossing this around all my noodles. And if it seems like it's not enough, just add about another cup of mayonnaise to it. I'm pretty sure with all those seasons we put in, you know, it's going to be like that, and it's going to get more juicier and juicier. So add you some more mayonnaise if you want, but you don't want it dry. And it looks like you might, usually I make a lot. Maybe I usually make more than more mix than my noodles, and I have like, it's just swimming in mix. Sometimes because you know you have to overdo it sometimes, so you don't want your pasta to be completely dry. Look at that. And then, okay, after I mix this up, all I'm going to do is chill this in the refrigerator for overnight to about an hour and a half. It's better to chill it overnight. Okay, I'm placing my macaroni salad into a mixing bowl so I can stick it in the refrigerator with a top on it. Get it out of my glass dish. And I'm going to chill this for an hour or two. It'd be better overnight. Make this a day ahead. Okay, I have put this in my bowl. I'm going to stick this in the refrigerator. You can stick it in the refrigerator for 2 hours to marinate. 24 hours overnight is a lot better. The flavors get even more intense. But if you want to have something quick, 2 hours is efficient, but 24 hours is better. So I'm going to put the top on this, and we're going to put it in the fridge. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the pasta salad that we made, the macaroni salad. I still call it pasta salad because pasta salad is pasta salad. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you make it for your family, and I hope they love it. And like I said, do it your way, do it our way. Because you know what? We did this together. You and me. We did this together. So hey, please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Come back so we can do extra shows, more good things. See you next time. Bye.